We are Cory and Wallace, an early retired couple on a full-time journey around the world. With a passion for exploring new cultures, discovering hidden gems, and enjoying delicious local food, we are on a mission to experience as much of the world as we can.
Welcome back. If you watched our last video, you'll see that we've flown from Oman to Istanbul, Turkey.
And today we're gonna go and check out the Grand Bazaar, but we're also going to kind of check out all the top highlights, I guess, of Istanbul.
Yeah, so I think over the next 2 days or so, we're gonna show you guys all the main, touristy spots, at least the ones we're gonna hit on this leg of the trip. It won't be a comprehensive list, of course, because we're only here for 2 or 3 days, but we are gonna be back at the tail end of our time in Turkey, so we'll do some more at that point. But for now, let's go grab a taxi to the Grand Bazaar.
Okay, so
Even using the B-Taxi app, that driver just tried to rip us off. Basically, he claimed that B-Taxi charges a commission and he wanted to charge 700 lira for the ride, even though the meter was showing like 260 lira.
I didn't see it at the end.
But he actually was one who canceled the B-Taxi ride and then wanted to charge us anyways, claiming that there was a commission, so we called him out on it. Then he brought it down to 600, we said no. Then it was 400, we said no. Then it was 350, and we said no. So we gave him 300, which would have been fair based on what the meter was showing. But yeah, so just a word of warning. Even with the meter running, they're still gonna try to rip you off here.
And we are here at the Grand Bazaar.
It is busy, it is crowded. It's also very hot today. Still not as hot as it was in Oman, so I'll take it. But it's, I think, about 36 degrees today. But the difference is here, it just feels like 36, not 48. So we'll take it. But yeah, we're gonna go in the Beyazıt Habisi entrance just behind us there. I'm honestly not entirely sure what to expect, even though we've seen videos of this before, but this will be, I think, busier than pretty much any other market we've ever been to.
Chatuchak probably comes close.
We'll see.
We'll see.
So the Grand Bazaar was built around the middle of the 15th century, around 1460 or 1450 something, if I'm not mistaken. And it is the world's largest covered market. It spans, I believe, 61 streets, and I think there's over 4,000 vendors. And apparently it's one of the world's busiest, most visited markets as far as the number of visitors per year. So it is gonna be busy in here, even though it's, I think, currently a Monday afternoon.
Yeah. So yeah, again, kind of like the Chatuchak market, we're not going to get through it all. There's no way.
I'm not even going to try.
So we'll go until we're kind of done and then go back. But we figured we'd check it out.
First impression so far, it's definitely busier than the Mutra Souk that we just were at in Muscat, Oman. Very different vibe here overall. So yeah, let's go.
But it's got the same beauty to Mutra Souk.
Let's head on in. That is a marble drinking fountain, and apparently there's 4 of those scattered throughout the bazaar. We've walked into a Turkish delight and candy shop, and the kind gentleman here has given us some samples of the tea. This one just completely opened up my sinuses. It's eucalyptus, lemon, ginger, and orange. And it's just I could have sworn it's peppermint because my sinuses just were blown wide open all of a sudden. It's so just refreshing just to sniff that. Then you get the lemon, and yeah, it's really, really fascinating. And Cory's got one here that is pomegranate, which is absolutely delightful. Yeah, that's really, really good.
We've been wandering for a little bit It's a little bit more repetitive than I think either of us anticipated.
Very repetitive, yeah.
I think jewelry shops,
Shoe stores,
shoe stores,
handbags, ceramics, and like gifts, like
and candy.
and candy stores, Turkish delight shops.
I think those are like the big standouts.
Like over and over and over again, to the point where, yeah, this is 61 streets and 4,000 vendors, but really there's only like 10 different types of shops you can shop at. Oh, and rugs, Turkish rugs.
And the rugs are beautiful.
They are. But we don't have a house to put a rug in, so problem solved. Yeah, so it is very repetitive. There's actually, once you've walked down one stretch of the market, there's really nothing new after that.
And also, the sales pitch isn't really that hard. We've gotten a couple come out and say, hey, come take a look at our stuff, and we say politely decline, and they're let us go our way. So it's not overwhelming in that sense.
It's just really crowded in here. There's a lot of people, a lot of noise in general, as you can probably hear from in the background. So just expect that, and that's pretty much what this is. It is the next day, and we are on our way to the Hagia Sophia. Now, after yesterday's debacle dealing with the scamming taxi driver, we've decided, screw it, we're not gonna bother supporting those taxi drivers again. So we're gonna go take some public transit today.
We were talking to our front desk person at the hotel, and he said, A, he was not surprised that had happened, but B, that was actually a very bold move for the taxi driver, and he said, since he had deleted it from the B taxi, we could have just gotten out and walked away, because he's like, if he's gonna rip you off, you can rip him off.
Yeah.
Because there was no record of
him having given us a ride.
We didn't know that. We would have felt bad, but just maybe that helps somebody out in the future.
So we are currently walking from our hotel to the train station, and we will show you guys what the steps look like to take public transportation here in Istanbul.
Which we discovered last night was really easy.
In order to take public transportation here in Istanbul, you need an Istanbul card, and it is basically a reloadable transit card. Looks like that. So you go to any metro station or train station, and you look for these yellow and blue machines. There's no English option on the screen, so you have to use Google Translate on your phone. But basically you buy the card. For us yesterday it was 165 lira each card, and then you basically load it with value. So we put a couple hundred lira on each, and then most one-way rides are, I believe, 27 lira, depending on where you're going. And that's each leg of the ride, so whether it's on the train, whether it's on the metro, like the subway system, buses, what have you. Ends up being a fair bit cheaper than the taxis, and honestly not that inconvenient because the system is pretty good here. The trains are relatively nice and clean, and they're air conditioned, so bonus. Well, we are here at the Blue Mosque and also very near the Hagia Sophia, and unfortunately
it's closed. We did not know that it closed for prayer times. You said you tried to look it up online. You didn't really find anything?
Here's the thing. Online says that it's open, but that's just in general. What it doesn't mention is that because they are both active mosques, they close during prayer times throughout the day for about a 90-minute period. The other thing is that prayer time changes on a regular basis or on a daily basis. It shifts with daylight hours. So unfortunately for us, the mosque is currently closed and doesn't reopen until 2 p.m., which is like an hour and a half or so from now.
And the same thing for Hagia Sophia.
Yeah, because they're both mosques, same deal. So we're basically stuck. We can't go visit either at the moment. So my advice to you guys is, yes, look up the hours, but also look up the prayer hours, because that will dictate whether you can go in and visit or not. Yeah. So we have to wait. Luckily, there is the Basilica Cistern about 300 meters away from here, which was on our list of things to do today. So we're going to go do that first. It's a little noisy, but we are now in the Basilica Cisterns. The Basilica Cistern is the largest of hundreds of cisterns underneath the city of Istanbul, and it was built in the 6th century by the Byzantine Emperor Justinian and would have provided water to the city of Constantinople way back then. Today it's basically kept with pretty low water levels, and there's like a boardwalk built over top so you can come down and walk out over it and view the cistern from inside, which is really freaking cool.
Yeah, it's very different in here. It's something I've never really experienced, so it's really cool.
And luckily, because we're underground right now, it's also really nice and cool because it's another 30-degree day out there today. So let's go take a look around.
This place is crazy. If you think about how old it is and the fact that it's still standing, even with restoring it, it's hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah, this is really cool. This wasn't cheap. This was 1,500 Turkish lira per person, so 3,000 for both of us, little over 100 Canadian dollars for admission. But this was pretty cool. Not something you're gonna do, every time you come to Turkey, but I feel like it's worth having seen once. The architecture in here is really cool. There's some more modern sculptures and statues and stuff, which to me don't really add anything to the experience, but just seeing these old columns and just the architecture in general is very, very interesting to see.
Yeah, I would say if you're in Istanbul and you've never seen it before, I would say see it once, at least once in your lifetime.
Yeah, and we just came up to the box office and got tickets at the ticket office. There is the option to buy like a skip the line fast pass ticket online that costs a little bit more. Honestly, the line wasn't that bad, and probably not really worth paying for the extra skip the line ticket unless it's peak season here. All right, we are now at the Hagia Sophia. So Hagia Sophia means holy wisdom, and this was built in, I want to say it was 563 AD as a Byzantine Christian church, and then after the fall of Constantinople in, I want to say it was 1453, I'll pop up a date on the screen if I was wrong. After the fall of Constantinople to the Ottoman Empire, it became a mosque, and then I guess back in it was a mosque, and then in 1935 it became a museum. In 2020 it turned back into a mosque, and in 2024 part of it opened up as a museum again. However, it is still an active mosque, so that's why we weren't able to get in until 2 o'clock because they were closed for prayers. That was a lot of information. I probably got some of the dates wrong, but what do you think so far?
It's a lot pricier than I think either of us anticipated. We did do some research, but the research online doesn't seem to reflect complete details. It just doesn't.
So the museum tickets for the upper level were 1,200 lira, but that only gets you the upper section of the mosque or the museum area. I'm not entirely sure. However, to get the full ticket that lets you in on the ground level as well was 2,350 lira each. I believe that works out to around 80 Canadian dollars per person. I'll pop the prices up on the screen after. But again, Cory's point is we're only going to be here once most likely, so we got the expensive ticket to see everything.
Basically, I go with, would you regret it if you don't see it? And the answer was yes. So we did it.
So there's our tickets. We're going to head in and show you guys around. We're inside now. There is security here, so there was a bag check and a body scanner, like x-ray. And also, because this is a mosque, there is dress code. I'm in a t-shirt that's covering my shoulders, and I'm in long pants today. Cory also has to have a scarf covering her head and her shoulders. It's hot out today. I'd rather not be wearing pants, but it is what it is. These are religious sites, so you do have to respect those customs.
So scams are everywhere in Turkey.
Yep. So we just came out from the Hagia Sophia, which was absolutely stunning inside on the upper level there. But the reason we bought the more expensive ticket was the guy at the ticket counter said that this ticket was the one that lets you go down and see everything. He lied because as we exited, asked the security guard, no, the lower level is only for people who are there for prayer. It is not open to tourists. And our ticket for the other museum part of it is a different museum that's over that way. That is a different section altogether and not the actual Hagia Sophia.
Yeah, honestly, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. That's the second time, and it's just annoying because you think that you're buying from a legit place. We went.
It is.
to
It's the
ticket
official
booth,
ticket booth.
and to get scammed that hard, like I think it was a significant amount, over 1,000 lira.
A difference of about 1,200 lira,
Yeah,
per person.
it kind of ruins the experience completely. Like,
Yeah.
Hagia Sophia, beautiful, totally worth seeing.
But Turkey in
But-
general, so far, basically everyone's out to scam you. Everyone's out to try to take your money. And honestly,
I
that's
don't think I'll be returning, to be
no.
honest.
We've had friends who we talked to who won't ever come back to Turkey, and I'm starting to see why, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
All right, so slight resolution. We went back to the ticket office actually to complain because clearly the guy who sold us the ticket misrepresented what the ticket included. And part of that is on us. We should have done a little bit more homework, but he specifically said that that ticket would let us see everything inside the Hagia Sophia, which was blatantly false because the ground floor is a prayer area only and is not open to the general public. So we went back to the ticket office to complain. The guy there had to call his manager, but they did approve a refund, so they basically refunded the full price and then charged us just the portion that we used for the visitor center part of the Hagia Sophia. So that's better than I hoped for, honestly.
Yeah. They were actually really polite about it, so I'm going to take it as a huge win.
We were filming, or Cory was filming the interaction, but they actually all asked Cory to stop and to delete the recording because it is apparently a government office and it's not allowed to record there. So we did comply with that. But at the end of the day, it has been resolved to our satisfaction. Still is, I'm not entirely sure that was a misunderstanding.
I don't think so.
Or that, honestly, they just assume that the tourists aren't going to know better and do that.
As the refund was happening, the person next door was sold the same thing.
At the next
So,
wicket, yeah.
It's...
They know what they're doing.
They know exactly what they're doing, and as much as they claim it's not a scam, unless you complain, you're not going to get your money back.
So while the Hagia Sophia was absolutely beautiful, and I do suggest anyone who comes here to Istanbul goes to see it, that experience did leave a bit of a sour taste in our mouths. Having said that, when you come here, know what you're getting into and just pay for the basic ticket, the 1,200 lira, and you won't run into the same problem we did. And we're basically right back where we started, here at the Blue Mosque. Admission to this one is free, and it is open at the moment, so we're going to be able to get in, and there should be no chance of us getting scammed here, which, yay. So yeah, let's go head on in and take a look around.
It's beautiful in here.
Yes, it is. The Blue Mosque was built during the Ottoman Empire between 1609 and 1616 by the ruler of the time was Sultan Ahmed I. And so this mosque is absolutely stunning, and all the other times we've seen videos of this mosque, the inside has had like construction going on and renovations, and like parts of it have been covered, and that does not appear to be the case today, and it is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it is busy in here, but it's so quiet that you can just take it in, and we're just going to take our time and enjoy this place because it is gorgeous. All right, so that is 4 of the highlights of what to see in Istanbul when you're here. Clearly, that's not an exhaustive list. That's just what we had time for. So we hope that you enjoyed coming along with us. But what are your thoughts on the Blue Mosque and like the overall experience of seeing?
Overall, this was awesome. The Blue Mosque here is just absolutely stunning. I love that stained glass that you can see behind us right now. The Basilica Cisterns, beautiful. Even, again, Hagia Sophia, also gorgeous. Just, you do have to know what you're getting yourself into, do a little bit of homework before you go so you avoid the scenario that we and many others today fell into. But
that being said, I feel like there's only so much homework you can do, because even we got caught off guard, and I think that's just Turkey. I feel like if it happens to you, congratulations,
you're officially a tourist here.
Yep. It's just an unfortunate part of being here. We weren't prepared for quite so much in-your-face scamming, because we've been in places where scamming is supposed to be a thing, and we do our research and it's fine, but here you just get it left, right, and center. So that's just part of it. But I would say all the highlights that we did were worth going to, including the Grand Bazaar. It's so beautiful in there. So, and I would recommend all of the things that we've done.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be it for this video. We are going to be here in Turkey for a little while longer. We've got a few more things planned that will be coming up in future videos, and we will be back in Istanbul at the end of the trip. So don't worry if you're thinking, oh, you guys haven't seen everything yet. We will be spending some more time. We're going to be on the Asia side as well. But thanks very much for coming along with us, you guys. We hope you liked this video, and if you did, please hit the thumbs up and give us a like, and make sure you subscribe.
And join us in our next video for more adventures. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.
The next day.
We decided to do a boat cruise for the evening. It's down the Bosphorus River, and it's set at sunset, so the time is roughly about 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we're just waiting to board our boat right now. We just did a short bus ride from our hotel here. Pretty cheap. It's 14 Canadian per person for a 2-hour sunset cruise, which includes like water, tea, coffee. You can have the option to do dinner cruises too, but we did that because usually Cory can't eat food on those.
Tonight couldn't have gone better if we planned it.
Yeah, you know what? We were late getting to the boat because we missed the bus. Or no, the bus was late. Like on Google Maps, it said it was going to be there at 5:41, and it didn't arrive till like 5:49. Anyways, we get there. We're sitting in the middle of the boat, but a table opened up on the port side, which Cory saw, so we moved over to it. And as it turned out, that was the perfect side of the boat to be on.
Yeah, we got all the sites along with all of the commentaries, so we were able to like take it in. Both sides. We were in the sun on the first side, but the second side was absolutely freaking perfect.
Perfect weather tonight too. Absolutely perfect.
Just gorgeous. And we opted to not do the dinner, which actually I highly recommend, because by not doing the dinner, we were able to just enjoy.
Yeah, I believe if we did do the dinner, it would have taken away from the experience. It would have distracted you because you're going to be sitting there trying to eat. You're not going to be there to see the sights, which, after all, is the whole reason to be on that boat in the first place.
So, I mean, it was $17.
14 each. 14 Canadian each.
$14 well spent.
Absolutely.
And then we decided to take the tram back, which happened to put us right on one of the bridges, and we got some beautiful sights.
As you can see behind us right now, it's gorgeous out, and like Cory said, this night couldn't have gone better.
So yeah, I recommend the cruise, not with the dinner, just the cruise.
Yeah.
You won't go wrong.
Bosphorus River Sunset Cruise, 10 out of 10.